Zdravo ljudi! Pronašla sam jedan jako zanimljiv razgovor između Roberta Kiyosakija i Donalda Trumpa. Tako da ćemo danas gledati taj video i reagovati na njega. Pa da počnemo.
Well, in Rich Dad Poor Dad, I came out in 1997 and I said, your house is not an asset. And it drove people nuts. It just went crazy on me because it's a common belief. But when you can't make your house payments, you find out is the biggest liability you got in many of the times.
It's turned out to be very much more correct than you even thought.
Right.
When you look at what's happened to home prices.
Right.
Da, inače Kiyosaki u njegovoj igrici Cash Flow također rekao da kuća može biti problem, pogotovo da se treba platiti na vrijeme, a tek da ne pričamo auto i slične stvari.
And Donald and I love real estate. I love real estate. I think it's the best thing going, better than sliced bread. But
Da, to također kažu da su nekretnine jako dobra stvar, da se od toga može postati dosta bogat, kada vidimo šta će da
if
kaže.
you're not smart with it, it's like a loaded gun. You know, you can protect yourself or you can kill yourself with it. So real
Da, on je uporedio nekretnine i pištolj, a ja bih uporedila sa novcem. To je potpuno isto. Isto tako u kojim rukama tako će biti. Nije da je novac zao ili da novac kvari ljude ili šta već.
estate is, to me, the best vehicle, but you've got to be smart with it because we're using debt. And debt is a two-edged sword out there. So you use debt, I use debt, but the more debt you use, actually you have to be smarter. So you can use debt to get richer. You can also use debt to wipe you out. So that's why, you know, I continue on saying we need financial education. To just say to somebody, get out of debt, well, that's not accurate. You use debt, don't you?
Debt is a great thing, and to be big and to be very successful, debt is a very useful weapon. But you have to be very careful.
That's correct.
Da, mi smo i u školi isto učili. Ukoliko mi sada želimo da napravimo neki hotel ili neko preduzeće, ne možemo ovako, potreban nam je kredit. Ali bitno je da znamo kako da ga koristimo i postoji nešto kao likviditet, se zove, i postoji kao stepen 1, to je kad imamo sav kapital, a stepen 2 je kad uzmemo kredit i to je sasvim ok. Ne znači da radimo ništa loše, već jednostavno može biti ok.
So the other thing with when people say live below your means,
Ok, sad prelazimo na drugu temu.
you don't like to live below your means, do you?
No.
No. And I think when you say to somebody live below your means, you wipe their spirit out. It's like saying somebody if you want to lose weight, go on a starvation diet.
Da, isto tako, ja kad sam došla u prvoj godini, ja sam dosta štedjela, bukvalno jela sam samo pomfrit po ceo dan, sendviče i shvatam da mi to nije pomoglo, samo me mučilo, a nije imalo nikakve potrebe.
It doesn't make you healthier to starve yourself. So I would rather get financially educated. That's why I read your books, because this is my greatest asset. I want to feed my brain so that I can expand my means without getting into excessive debt or where I start to lose. Because debt, like I say, is a two-edged sword. But telling somebody to live below your means is almost inhumane. I never felt good.
Da, ovdje također pomaže imanje ciljeva. Ukoliko imamo neki naš cilj i želimo nešto veliko, onda i znamo da ne možemo tek tako ga postići, već da moramo mnogo napredovati i mnogo velike stvari učiniti da bi se to zapravo desilo.
Doing it, I wanted to strive to do better every day. I want to do better every day. I liked a good life. Like I tell the story of taxiing underneath your jet. You know, I was in my jet, but it was a little Learjet. And I look up and there's a 727 and I taxi under it. I said, holy mackerel, you know. And it's big boys and their toys, but nonetheless it inspired me.
Ovo je jako cool i pokazuje da čak i na tim nivoima, da koliko god novci imamo, uvijek ćemo imati probleme, uvijek ćemo misliti da je neko bolji od nas. Evo, on ima privatni avion, a smeta mu što neko iznad njega ima veći privatni avion. Znači, ovo je super priča i baš mi je drago što je to rekao. Sve je u nama, kako mi živimo, kako se mi ophodimo prema našem novcu, prema ljudima u našoj okolini, tako da je super, ova priča je baš super.
So, okay, I'm in a Learjet now, it's time to step up. And it doesn't mean the jet will make me happier. What makes me happier is the wanting to get better, to get smarter, to do better.
Well, I have a friend who was not successful at all, but was really up and coming. And he had a thing. He would only fly first class. I'm not saying do this because for somebody it won't work, but he needed that mentally.
Right.
He wanted to fly first class because mentally he wanted to think.
Da, želeo da učini nešto lepo za sebe. Ja imam isto tako jedan ritual posle škole, volim da pijem jednu kafu iz reve i da jedem neke kao štapiće sa sirom i sa španaćem, vjerovatno znate ukoliko ste gledali moje videe, tako da razumem ovo, treba da gledamo nas i da jednostavno želimo dobro nama. Nije poenta kao ja prije da se mučim, da ne znam šta uradim, da bukvalno potrošim 30 € nedeljno mesečno za hranu, već je poenta da se osjećam dobro, da želim nešto dobro, da napredujem, kao što on kaže, da napredujem i u finansijskoj edukaciji, da vidimo šta će dalje reći.
He was the best, and that's it. And even though he didn't have much money at the time, this is years ago, he would always fly. I used to criticize him, but it put him in a good state of mind, and he became a very, very successful guy.
Da, vidjela sam i u jednoj knjizi bilo je kao pitanje da li želite da možete da birate da li biste išli prvom klasom ili ne, i onda je bilo jako podijeljenih mišljenja da li treba učiniti sebi ili ipak uštedjeti novac. Eto, šta vi mislite o tome, da imate novce, da li treba ići prvom klasom ili ne?
Guy,
Yes.
very, very successful. And I've always remembered that. He would never fly coach. He would always fly first class, even though he didn't have the means to fly. So, look, it's complicated, but whatever it takes to train
Right.
that.
Whatever makes you feel better about
And sada
yourself,
kaže to.
stronger, more confident, to want to do better. And I think really that's the issue.
Da, kao što kaže, poenta je da smo mi spremni da radimo ono što se od nas očekuje i da uradimo mnogo toga. Tako da šta god nas čini srećem, ukoliko su tu neke sitnice, ukoliko čak i zahtijevaju novac, to je okej.
And we're at the stage of our lives right now. To ask for more is not really it, but to do better, to feel better about ourselves is still important. It is very important. So that's why I don't like saying live below your means and scrimp and all that, because, shopping is fun. Nice houses are fun.
At the same time, you have to be very careful.
Yes, but you have to be responsible about
Correct.
it. Like,
Da, prava reč je da budemo odgovorni. Znači, mi znamo šta je dobro, šta ne. Mi znamo šta je bacanje para, šta je nešto lepo. Jer evo, Trump ga je na vrijeme zaustavio kada je počeo da priča o trošenju novca na kući, na te neke stvari. Trump je odmah rekao da stane i da jednostavno objasni ljudima da se radi o odgovornosti i o pravilnom trošenju novca, o jednoj stvari, ne sve. Znači, kad oni to kažu, o nekoj stvari koja je nama dobra i koju mi volimo, i onda tako da uradimo.
when you invited us up to your little duplex up here, whatever they call it, we walked up there, and I've never seen a two-story, entire floor home in New York City. And my wife Kim says, I didn't really want to live in a condo, but she says, Mr. Trump's house will do.
Meni se ovaj intervju baš
And it
sviđa.
is spectacular. You know what I mean? And it's.
And yet I don't need that, Ron.
Yes, I know.
I don't need that. If I had one nice bedroom with a good television set and a nice
Right.
bed, and you don't really need that. But it was in a building I built,
Right.
and it was there for the taking, so I figured I might as well do it. And what
Right.
have I done? Instead of selling the equivalent of 12 or 13 units, I kept them. And by keeping them, I have them. I
Right.
didn't sell them, and that's okay. And it's
Da, to je također i u Kiyosakijevoj knjizi, moja maca je došla, isto kaže da se keš ne treba čuvati u kešu, a ukoliko ga samo konvertuje i kupi neku nekretninu, u ovom slučaju njegovu kuću, to je kao da ima novac, tako da to je to.
become, a very valuable place. So I didn't need that. I don't need it now, but there's something nice about it.
Right. And then that's my message is achieve it, and then you can take it or leave it. But if
Da,
you-
najbitnije je da to ostvarimo, a poslije ćemo lako da smislimo da li u tom trenutku, da li želimo da čuvamo kao kapital ili želimo da ga dobijemo pa uložimo u nešto drugo.
don't achieve it, then it's always something away from you. So again, that's why I be redundant about this, living below your means. I don't think that makes your spirit happy. It kills your spirit. Also, if you don't have the financial education, when somebody says your house is an asset or these mutual funds are good or the stock will go up, And you don't know the difference between a good investment and a bad investment, because real estate can be a bad investment, stocks can be a bad investment. If you don't know good investment advice from bad investment advice, then you're going to get taken. This world is not kind, should we say.
The hardest thing that I've witnessed over the last year is seeing people that were very hardworking and very
Ovo je sada jako komplikovana tema i naravno da treba ulagati i naravno neki manji deo ili neki veći, to je sad već pitanje. Oni ovdje govore o osobi koja je 50% novca uložila i na kraju jako teško živela i posle godinama morala da trpi, jer dok se te investicije sve isplate, potrebno je neko vreme, potrebno je dosta znanja, šta ako se nisu isplatili i tako.
conservative that invested in the stocks, and I'm not talking about high-flying stocks, I'm talking about very solid companies, and their net worth is
Da, čak pričaju o nekim super kompanijama, znači nekim stabilnim kompanijama, da li kako i da li
50% of what it was a year ago, and they haven't done anything wrong.
Right.
Now, they put their money in stocks, so I guess you could say that's wrong, but it's really not wrong.
Da, ne može se reći da je pogrešno jer zapravo nije.
Historically, that's been okay. So they went into conservative stocks, and a year later, they're worth 50%, and all they've done is worked. And that's the hardest thing I've seen.
It's tragedy. The thing that I want to say is this: you can invest.
Da, oni ovdje pričaju o samom duhu, možda će porasti cijena tih akcija i šta već. Oni žele da kažu kako se ta osoba osjećala i da li je možda sada bilo u stanju da nastavi dalje, da pokrene neki svoj biznis, jer u njenom duhu, bez novca, bez ičega, je bilo jako teško.
Invest in gold and lose money. You can invest in real estate and lose money. You can lose stocks and lose money. You can invest in oil and lose money. You can also make a lot of money in all those things. So really the reason we get together is because your financial intelligence, your financial IQ makes something valuable or not valuable.
Da,
Like I said, you
bukvalno
have,
tako. Kaže da naša financijska edukacija čini da nešto bude vrijedno, naše znanje o tome, evo recimo zlato ili bilo šta drugo. To naše znanje o tome ili bilo koja investicija ili naš sopstveni biznis, to je ono što je ključ i tu se treba ulagati.
have to know a good investment from a bad investment, good advice from bad advice.
Tu se završava ovaj intervju, nadam se da mi je bio zanimljiv. Za neke sljedećih videa imam još jednu jako zanimljivu osobu, a to je Kim Kiyosaki, žena od Roberta Kiyosaki. Pa se vidimo uskoro.